Hold on.
I am trying to join. It will not let me.
You're joined right now. What do you mean it wouldn't let you? Can you not hear me? You motherfucker.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hold on, everybody. Technical difficulties.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing, man. You were in there, but we couldn't hear you.
No, I'm dialing you right now on my phone.
Oh, well, I already called you.
I know, now it's on a delay. I know. I see you.
All right, well, figure it out. Get in here. The chat just started.
All right, bye.
All right, I love you. Bye. What's up, everybody? Friends, Romans, and Patriots. All the good things. Dude, forgive me for being late. Two things. I just got done with a dentist, and my face hurts. So talking isn't fun. So this might not be a very long chat, because it hurts over here. I don't know if you guys have ever had a fucking crown without a root canal, but it's pretty awful.
Hello, hello?
Yep, I can hear you.
I've got Ohio on non-speak. I can see you.
I'm here. I was just waiting for the trains to pass.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I love my friend Zarati, but he's basically a boomer. And I can say that because he can't hear me. So what's going on, Mr. Ohio Patriot? How are you doing?
It's been a hell of a week, basically. Just dealing with all kinds of stupid shit, basically, at this point, honestly. From delivery people to just state politics in general is what it is. So it's been very unfun, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Shit sucks over here. Again, I don't know if you guys have ever had a crown put on a tooth without a root canal, where you just have the crown, but you don't have a root canal. But it was one of the most painful fucking things that I've ever had done in the dentist. Probably the most painful thing I've ever had done. And I literally just got done with it and set up the chat and started it. And right now, because shit sucks, I'm like seriously considering ending the chat right now. So.
Oh.
Figure your shit out. Did you figure it out?
Yeah, hello. I can hear you now.
Yay!
Hi. I have a piano. Awesome.
What's up, man?
Not too much. How you doing?
Good. Have you ever had a crown without a root canal?
Yeah, just like a quick cover up, but it wasn't done right. It was like in Mexico. It was stupid.
Bro, it hurt so fucking bad. It was supposed to be like a 90-minute fucking little thing, and you spend like 5 minutes joking around and 20 minutes getting numbed up, and by the time you're done, it's like an hour of being in the chair.
Yeah, why didn't you have the root canal though? Why would you just get the crown?
Because I didn't need a root canal. I just needed a crown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But, yeah, it was, instead of an hour in the chair, it was 2 hours in the chair. Like, the medicine wore off halfway through, and they had to inject me with more. And now my whole right side of my fucking face hurts like a little fucking bitch, and every word that comes out of my mouth hurts. Every word that I speak right now is about a 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10 on the pain scale, just so you guys know.
Is that why you look like a chipmunk, kind of?
I am suffering so that you can watch this right now.
Yeah, you look like a chipmunk. It's cute.
Yeah, this side's little
I'm
lopsided.
not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
Yeah, it hurts, dude. I don't know. Take Vicodin. I don't like Vicodin. What's up, TJ?
Just for an hour.
TJH Thomas Jefferson Honda, 1994. Very good. So I really don't have much of a show for you guys today. I mean, we can go to my Twitter, but I don't think I even really reposted anything this week.
I remember one time I had, I think it was after my colon cancer surgery, they gave me, it was either Vicodin or more, I forget what the other one is. Xanax, maybe? Whichever it was that I was on, gave me auditory hallucinations.
What the hell? You got Percocet. What did they give you for your butt?
Yeah, it was either Percocet or it was Vicodin. I'm not sure which.
Yeah, hallucinations is Percocet, man, not Vicodin.
Vicodin makes me feel like I have ants crawling all over my body, and I'm busting out in hives, like I'm itchy everywhere, and doesn't really do very much for the pain. Percocet makes me violently ill. So I feel 90% of the pain instead of 100, which is nice. It takes about 10% off. But then I feel like I'm also going to throw up all fucking day. And sometimes I do.
Ugh.
So me and pain pills are not fond of one another. I don't take them unless I'm going to die. And even then I'm like, I'd rather just feel the pain.
You could
like
just get
morphine doesn't do shit. Does not do fucking shit. Like literally, like I had knee surgery. They gave me morphine after the knee surgery to help with the knee surgery pain. I stopped taking it because it doesn't do shit. I don't know why you fucking retards do fucking heroin. Like seriously, the fuck's wrong with fucking people?
They're injecting it. That's why.
Yeah, it's fucking retarded, dude. Like I like dying.
They don't die. They're just getting high.
Yeah, how many people die of fucking heroin overdoses every year?
Wow, those guys are the idiots for sure.
A lot less than die of fentanyl overdoses that are mixed with heroin.
Fentanyl?
Yeah, people are snorting fentanyl these days. Fentanyl can make you really sick.
Is fentanyl a kind of heroin?
It's the same thing. It's just a blocker. It just blocks your pain receptors.
So when I say
that's what I said the 7H.
So when I say fucking heroin overdose, I mean fentanyl too, because 100%. It's the same fucking thing, just stronger.
7H is a new deal.
Is it even stronger than fentanyl? That's great.
Yeah, it's like 7 times stronger than morphine. It's crazy.
Why do we
7-0? 7-0, bro.
Why do we need that? Are there not enough painkillers already for people in pain?
Well, you just explained the 2 reasons why not to do the Percocet and the Vicodin.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's got to be something else out there, you know? Oh, oxycodone? I don't like that shit either.
Yeah, that just knocks you out. Like pure hydrocodone.
Well, then there's also that crazy mix of the street drugs they got in Pennsylvania. And like Kensington Avenue, they keep making bigger and better and more powerful.
Yeah, they mix it into different colors too. So every color is a different batch. Yeah, I used to work with some of those guys. They were pretty crazy. That was out in Colorado. I used to work with those guys, bro. Like that was out in Colorado where I used to run with those guys who, like, blues would be like relaxing and reds would be like upbeat and yellows would be put you asleep. And like, yeah, no, not fun.
Man,
I don't know. The kratom works really good. Like the 7-0, man, that's a new demon, bro. It works great for taking pain away. It's just a matter of like getting off of it. Like my legs hurt, like they stem out. Like it sucks, bro. Trying to like quit doing those things. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's why, you know, stick to marijuana. It comes from the earth. God made it for us to use. It's a seed-bearing herb that's also a plant.
Sure. You fall asleep sometimes though. Like you'll smoke a bowl and you'll be like, yeah, I feel great. And then like 15 minutes later you're like, I feel stupid, I'm going to bed. And then that's it. Like you're done.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you smoke weed and then the first thing you have to do is go to sleep, you're probably exhausted. You probably needed to go to sleep anyway.
Exactly. That was me last night, bro.
Yeah, I forgive you. It's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, this sucks. I really don't like how my face feels right now. How my mouth feels every time it moves and talks. Every word that comes out of my mouth, literally every single syllable, every single instance of a sound that exits my mouth hurts. So someone else talk for a while.
There's some huge bass they're taking out of that lake there.
Are you allowed to keep those guys though?
I don't know if they were doing like experimentations to like stun them to see if they like what the sizes are or what they're doing with them there.
You can do a couple smallmouth bass here. But like for the most part, you got to release any bass, small or largemouth bass, here in Minnesota. Although this week is a free fishing week because they're redoing the system here, so you can hunt and fish for free this whole week.
They have it's like a free fishing weekend here in Ohio, usually for the kids, and then you can have like an adult day, I think is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon's going nuts, so they got a ballot issue now going on their thing for, I think it's October or November this year, where they would basically ban hunting, fishing, and agriculture in the state of Oregon.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. They're banning them for everything. Huh? You can't even have chickens there anymore, apparently.
Well, I mean, it's blatantly unconstitutional is what it is. The fact that it's even a ballot issue to begin with is ridiculous.
Yeah, why would you get rid of like having chickens and like they're trying to get rid of owning your own like animals at all?
Well, it's all the 2030 agenda is what it is. You'll own nothing, be happy, etc.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to make sure that the ticks eat you because, chickens kill a lot of ticks. So.
Yeah, you were saying you had some tick problems there, man. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, I've been bitten like 4 times in the last few days. It's ridiculous. And I blame part of me being tired on that, but I don't really know for sure. My mom says I've worked for like the past 30 days straight without taking a break. So today I kind of just took a break, but yeah.
You definitely got that Bill Gates tick virus.
Yeah, well, I hope I don't have alpha gal. I'm eating meat right now and I'm fine, so I should be okay. I haven't been eating as much as normal though. Like I have been taking naps after I eat because I get so tired.
Nepalese community leader wants Coloradans to know we are here. Like, I've got nothing against people from Nepal or fucking Cambodia or the Philippines or whatever country you come from. But man, I'm getting tired of the amount of immigrants that are living here in this country right now. I know that sounds bad to say, but it's true, man. Like every time I go to like Costco, I hear 15 different languages being spoken.
Mm-hmm.
What? Really?
Really, literally. Yeah. And like, I can only identify like 5 of them.
Well, up here in Minnesota, that's not happening. It's just white.
It reminds me of the Chinese. I think she's Chinese. I want to say she's actually a Chinese foreign national that became a U.S. citizen that is now it's either a congresswoman or a senator. Was saying the other day because I guess Trump was trying to do something with the English language and make it like our official language. Finally, is what it is. And she's like, but that's so racist towards all these other people that don't speak English. It's like, well, then fucking learn.
It's like going to Japan and then being like, ugh. Let's say not even English, right? Like Spanish or something. Like, I am upset that more people don't speak Spanish for me so that I can understand them. Like, bitch, you moved to Japan. Why don't you learn some Japanese? It'll make your whole life easier. Bitch, you moved to America, where English is the primary and only official language of the country, right? Yeah, we got a lot of people who speak other languages. But if you want to do law, if you want to read signs, if you want to take tests, if you want to vote, English. It has to be English. We need to enforce that. And I heard about what's going on with the truck drivers and them enforcing that they have to like be able to understand and speak and read English in order to drive a 18-wheeler in this country. And I'm all for that, especially with all these stories about people from like fucking Pakistan or whatever killing people because they don't know how to drive, but they're given a license.
Well, the thing is, in a lot of those cases, especially the ones in New York, there was a woman that worked for the DMV that admitted she was going and taking license tests for other people, and so they didn't even understand how to get the shit because they were too dumb.
Well, in California is handing out CDLs like candy, you know.
Yeah, I forget which state it was that said they wouldn't enforce the English-only thing, and they're like, okay, well, we're cutting your federal funding then.
Well, the thing about it is, like, if you're an American citizen and you are tired of your wages stagnating while the price of everything goes up, right? And at the same time, you are for all of this immigration that's going on into our country, you're shooting yourself in the foot, because basically it's a supply and demand problem, right? You have an ever-increasing supply of people to work jobs, and the demand stays relatively the same. So what happens to the price of the worker? The price goes down because you're competing with more people. You're competing with so many more people, in fact, that you were basically pushed into poverty by working like a normal job. You have to work two jobs. You have to have like some kind of educational level up. You have to have some kind of competitive advantage. And even then, they bring in someone on an H-1B visa to do your fucking computer engineering job for you, you know? And that's just the way it works in this country now. I was reading, it's something like 70%, and I don't remember the actual number, but it's something like 70% of jobs since 2014 have gone to foreign-born people, whether they be citizens or not. 7 out of 10 jobs in the United States for the past like 14 years have gone to people who were not born here. And another thing, I remember being in junior high, high school age, you know. How hard was it to get a job in 1998? Not that hard. Basically, everywhere that you looked was looking for somebody. If you could fill out an application and answer like a couple of math questions or something, you basically had a job, you know, like running a cashier or something like that. And not to mention summer jobs, mowing lawns, doing roofs, like that kind of hard labor that maybe like a in between high school and college age kid might do for a summer so he can make a bunch of money before he goes to school type shit. Those jobs don't exist. They don't fucking exist. They're not on the fucking planet. You cannot fucking find them. They've all been fucking taken by some fucking hajib, by some fucking dot head, by some fucking person from another country who's come here for economic reasons. They've come here for prosperity because where they come from, we wouldn't move to. Why is it all of the immigration, every single country, the immigration only goes from non-first world countries to first world countries? Like it never goes like no one from fucking a first world country is like, I'm going to move to Zimbabwe. Like it just doesn't fucking happen. Statistically zero. I mean, I'm sure there's one, but you know what I mean? Like, why is that?
It's all by design. It was talked about 6 months before 9/11 or so, give or take. You had a woman named Barbara Spector, Lerner, or Spector, I don't know what her last name is. Anyway, she was talking about it over there in the UK, and she was talking about multiculturalism and about how it was basically, and this is why people hate, quote unquote, the Jews so much is what it is. It's because she specifically said it was the Jewish people doing this to first world Christian nations to make sure that they became multicultural by force.
I mean, okay. And I guess if someone could prove that, But it's not just Jews doing that, dude. You can't just have the Jews be the blame of that, because certainly you'd have to have tens of thousands of people in every first world country and every single government around the world who are not Jews, who are complicit, who are somehow either getting paid off or working with them, or, you know, they're getting something out of it. There's got to be like a whole bunch of people who aren't Jews doing this. So I'm fucking sick of that shit. Like, name names or shut the fuck up. Not you. I'm sorry. I'm, you know, Ohio, you're cool. But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like if there's something that Benjamin Netanyahu did,
Mhm.
don't be like, oh, well, look at the Jews and the Jews did this again. Shut the fuck up and tell me what Benjamin Netanyahu did specifically, so that we can specifically hold him accountable. And I was talking about this the other day. I think I was talking to you about this, Zarati, in regards to Israel and Palestine. Yes, there are certainly individual instances where soldiers, while given orders to do one thing, have gone out into the field and done another. And the thing that they did instead of what they were ordered to do could be considered a war crime. There's stories of Israeli soldiers waiting by Palestinian food lines for... So, okay, the way that it works a lot of the time is mom and dad are weak, girls can't go out, so who goes to the bread line? Who do you send to the bread line? Your teenage son. Why? Because he's strong and he can carry a lot of stuff back. Like he's able to do things and move around and shit that you can't do because you're older, or you can't do because you're a woman. You send your fucking son. So these sons go by themselves across the city to get to these checkpoints where they're handing out food, right? And this happens quite often where the Israeli soldiers hang out by the food depots, or whatever you want to call them, and use these young Palestinian boys as target practice. There's stories of, I think it was 8 teenage Palestinian boys showing up to a emergency field hospital in Palestine, run by foreign nationals, because basically there's no one who lives in Palestine who's a doctor, right?
Mhm.
And they had 6 young boys come in because they were shot in the groin. They were shot in the nutsack by Israeli soldiers. Now, did Israel give the order to the soldiers to go out to the bread lines and shoot young men in the nuts? I highly doubt it. In fact, I would bet every penny I have that they did not do that. That there is no standing order, that there is no fucking written order, that there's nothing that anyone could track down possibly in any fucking universe in the history of fucking the conflict between Israel and Palestine at any point has that order ever been given. I would bet everything I have on that. But at the same time, have these soldiers who have disobeyed orders and shot people in the nutsack, for instance, as a prime example, have they been held accountable?
In most cases, no.
Yeah, in all cases, no, that I know of. I don't know of any cases where they've been held accountable.
Well, it's
And
also
that's a huge
plausible
fucking
denial.
problem. Why?
Yeah.
Well, because if no one's going to hold your soldiers accountable when you order them to go out and do things, and they like rape or murder or do things that they're not supposed to do, like shoot Palestinian teenage boys in the nutsack, and then you don't hold them accountable, you don't court-martial them, you don't exile them from the cut, whatever the fucking case is. You don't do something. You just got to do I don't even care if it's not even proportional, dude. You just got to fucking give us the goddamn fucking feigned image of fucking justice somehow, some way, so that maybe someone could fucking argue it in a way that maybe someone could believe. Then maybe you'd have something, but they don't. I don't know of a single case where that happens. So where does the blame go then? Does it stay on the soldiers with no accountability? No. The blame goes up the fucking pipe. It goes to their direct superior. It goes to their direct general. It goes to their fucking commander in chief. It goes to their government. So in that case, when there is no justice, when there's no accountability, when those to blame are sheltered by the state of Israel, then I think you do have a fucking point when you're talking about that shit. And I think that a lot of what Israel's been doing has been spending their capital. They've been doing things that they know were going to piss everybody off. They've been doing things that traditionally they got away with because Holocaust and World War II and shit, but no one's alive who remembers that anymore. So they can't get away with the same shit like that.
Well, then you also have us trying to do peace talks and get negotiations done with Iran at this point. And you keep having Israel bomb Lebanon to the point where Trump even a couple days ago was like, dude, what the fuck, Netanyahu?
So you kind of jumped
a whole bunch of noise, dude.
I'm walking around. You jumped from America over to, like Iran and Israel now. I mean, Iran came out just recently through Ohio, but here's the deal. You went from America and the immigrants here, okay, and then you jumped to the Jews, as you said it, the Jews. So, first of all, let's not talk about them with a weird disdain, because I feel like I'm not saying I agree with Netanyahu or any of the Israeli state for sure, but I mean, you can hear it in the tone of voice that you both have actually when you say the Jews, and like come on, man, there's some disdain there. Okay, great.
I was saying it ironically.
That it's not funny though. That's the point.
I was saying it like that because that's what people say. I was saying it like that to make light of exactly what you're talking about right now. Sorry, but go on.
Right. So the point of it is, every time you feed into that, people like me don't know that you're being ironic. There's people that take offense to the way that you're talking about it. So there's just there's this contempt there that needs to be addressed, because even within that contempt that you have by being ironic, you are therefore manifesting the negative input that you are disdaining. And so there's that as far as that goes. But to go back a little bit to where you were when you were talking about the people taking the jobs and how easy it is to get, a license and this and that, I think you're missing the point. Okay. And the point is that, yeah, you know why it's so easy to get a license in California, in Minnesota, in Colorado? The reason why is it's so easy to get a license is because they can't get white people to do the job. That's true. That's a fact.
Not true.
No, it is true.
If you pay people a good enough wage, they will do the fucking job. The problem is
if you pay millions people.
The issue is
you're just giant corporations.
No,
so I didn't get to finish my statement. Okay, if I can just reclaim my time. Because
all right, Senator from fucking Minnesota, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Let me reclaim my time. You're not giving the American people the jobs they want. They demand this extra abundance of cash, and you're going to pay somebody who is foreign to do it for cheaper. So one, you can blame the people who are in charge of the hiring, because they don't want to pay white people more money to do the job. Two, you can blame the fact that white people don't want to do that job in the first place. You can argue all you want. They do want to do it, but they want to do it at a fair wage. I want to do my job at a fair wage, but I'm not getting a fair wage, am I? No, I'm not. So I'm still doing the job, though. So there's the point, is that you say it's so easy to get a license because they have to have somebody to push the trucks. They have to have somebody to do the yard work. They have to have somebody to build the infrastructure, which they're not even building properly because they are foreign national, because they are from somewhere else, because you don't have a living wage, because gas is impossible to pay for in our economy right now.
And you're right about a lot of that. You're right about a lot of that. But like, here's the part that I think you might be missing is what Ohio was saying about the wages being necessarily higher because or lower, excuse me, because of all of the competition that you have, right? The converse is true. And the reason that they don't want to pay people more is because it would cost more for products to be delivered, right? And they don't want to, they like, that would hurt sales and that would hurt the bottom line, and like there's a million reasons people don't want that. But at the same time, if no one's getting paid enough to buy products, how it's like the Ford Motor Company. What was his name? The first Ford guy? Brian Ford? I don't remember his name. Decided to pay his factory workers at the time, at what was the time, an obscene amount of money. Where everyone was like, bro, why are you paying your people so much? You could pay people a third of that and they would happily do the work. And his explanation was, I want my workers to be able to buy my product. And then actually, Henry Ford, thank you. And there was a kind of a marketing ploy behind that, right? Because there were so many of his workers that made so much money and made this product, the Model T Ford, that they were able to buy them and then drive them around. And then there's all these Model Ts on the road now, you know, like ran by the people who built them. And so that made the product more popular. It gave them some sales to begin with. I mean, there's a whole myriad of ways that things work better in that direction too that aren't explored. So while there's the side of the coin that you're mentioning with the higher prices and then here's another point too. 2 points. When it comes to the war in Iran and what Trump has been doing and the deals that he's been trying to make and the failures and successes that he's had and the price of oil and things like that, right?
Okay.
Do you know that Joe Biden wanted to go to war with Iran?
I'm not going to even get into the semantics of it because Joe Biden is.
Let me make my point then you don't have to get
make
into
it. Yeah, so make your point because it doesn't make sense.
Hillary Clinton, what was the other bitch's name? Kamala Harris.
Go ahead and just tag them all in there. Anybody you don't like, throw them in there.
All of them.
Throw them in there, buddy.
They would bomb Iran. Every single one of them said if they got the reins of power, including fucking what's his name, the old guy that was just in, said that like, oh, we're gonna have to bomb Iran, blah blah blah, right?
They didn't though.
But they were going to. That was what they said they were going to do.
No, it doesn't matter. They didn't,
dude. Let me fucking finish my point.
Okay, go ahead and finish your point.
Every single one of them said that they would bomb Iran. Every single one of them said that was their plan. So my question is, who would you rather have in charge if we're going to go to war with Iran either way? Because no matter how you voted, apparently they were going to war with Iran. Didn't matter if you voted left, right, center, doesn't matter. Every single one of them was going to go to war with Iran. So who would you rather have in charge?
So your whole concept of what you're saying right there is fictitious.
No,
and the reason why, it is because they didn't go to war. It is because they didn't. So what you're saying is they all wanted to, but they didn't.
I can pull up right now Kamala Harris talking about wanting to go to war with Iran.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. She didn't because she didn't win.
She wasn't in power. She couldn't have. She was never the president, so she never had the opportunity to. And she said that if she was, she would have.
Can I talk now?
Sure.
Can I say something? So they didn't. That's the point. Joe Biden was in office. Then he lost. Then he forfeited, right? And he put, what's her name, Kamala, in there, and she lost. So she didn't go to war. So it doesn't matter if they said they would go to war. They didn't. Obama didn't go to war with Iran. Even if you go back to the Bushes,
He went to
they
war with
didn't
like
go
every
to
other country,
war
though.
with. Yeah, they did. They went to war with Iraq. Correct. And they made up a
And
fictitious
Afghanistan
war.
and
Exactly.
every other Middle Eastern
Exactly.
country they wanted to.
So there you go. You're making my point for me.
So
They
here,
went to war to make. It's a fictitious war. The only people hurting on the bottom line, the only reason why I'm upset is because we're the ones losing. The rich people aren't losing. Okay, the presidents are supposed to put their money on hiatus. They're not supposed to make money while they're president. They're not supposed to make money while they're president. That's been written in and followed by every president except for Donald Trump.
bull fucking
Anyway,
shit. Okay,
that
I
being
let you
said-
talk until you just
that
said
being
something
said-
completely
that being
100%
said-
fact checkably false. That is 100%
so fact
false. What
check
you
it
just
away. That's fine. But that being said, like everything being said right now is that they didn't go to war, dude. We are experiencing another drought of financial bullshit that we cannot afford to continue going the way we're going. You and me in Ohio, we're all doomed, bro. We don't have how many barrels of oil can you buy right now? Tell me. How many barrels can you buy?
What are they, like $150 a barrel?
Yeah.
Probably like 15.
There you go. There you go. So you got 15. And then you got to sit on those and then figure out how to sell them and then figure out how to recreate them. You're going to keep them in your garage. You have a garage that can hold 15 barrels of oil. Like, I mean, it's ridiculous. The fact of the matter, it's not even about them making money. I don't care if presidents and rich people make money. That's not the point. The point is that I can't afford to pay my bills. I am neglecting payments. I am hurting beyond all belief. I don't have health care. I don't have, like, nothing is paid for. I'm paying double for gas.
I get
It
it,
used to
dude.
cost, yeah. So
get
there
it.
you go.
What I'm saying though here, real quick, is that is the current reality of the situation that you and I and many people are out there living in. Yes, that is correct. That is true. And part of that is a direct result of actions and decisions that Donald Trump made. Also true. The thing that is missing from that equation is the what if, right? And what if the other side had won? What if the Democrats were in power? What if? And I can't say for sure. I don't have like a fucking crystal ball that I can see into an alternate universe and see how things would have turned out. But I can imagine, and in my imagination, which is generally pretty close approximation to reality. Sometimes I'm wrong. But how I imagine the world to be if Kamala Harris was in power is all of the problems that you're talking about currently would be at least as bad as they are now, if not worse. And we would have more problems on top of that. And there would be problems that are being dealt with right now that wouldn't even be addressed. So again, do I have proof of that? No. Do I have a crystal ball? No.
Right.
Do I believe that in my heart that we are 100% in a better place than we would have been if not for the other option? Yes, I do. And I'm going to continue to argue that.
Well, you can go ahead and do that. You have a platform to do it on. Then that's fine. The bottom line is, like, we need somebody who cares in office. We don't need a Republican. We don't need a Democrat.
We need a lot of people who care.
We need a lot of people who care.
The issue is that you have insider trading going on throughout all of Congress for decades now, unchecked.
Yeah.
To the point where they're like, oh, we should be able to insider trade now is what it is. And it's like, the fuck you should be. Every single one of you should be arrested across the board now is what it is for insider trading.
There you go. I agree with
completely.
that.
Replaced completely.
See? Yeah. I agree
like, honestly, I'm realizing more and more, both at the state and federal level, the best thing that could happen right now is complete abolishment of governments, and we start fresh straight from the Bill of Rights is what it is.
Well, and then, I mean, you go to state.
What would actually solve the problems? And like, this is a fucking scary fucking thought, but it's true. We have the ability because of AI and technology and all of these things. We could have like a government without having a single person, you know? We could just have the AI make decisions and we make decisions on how to program it, on how to make it make decisions.
What?
And that's what we decide is like, hey, what's your priority list? You know, like what are you focusing on versus what is less important, and then come up with an answer for this particular problem or this set of problems or this scenario.
So
But
wait, are
I
you
think that we're
saying
almost at the point where like, man, and it's
you are saying that?
dystopian, and it would probably be the end of humanity in a lot of ways.
Well, it is. It is the end of humanity because what you're talking about is what's going on. Like the Democrats winning in office would have been a streamlined pace towards one world government for sure, faster than Trump. 100%. You're absolutely right. Like they would have streamlined that shit super fast, and people wouldn't have even noticed. They would have been pulling the wool right over their eyes. I'm not arguing that with you, but I don't think that we would be suffering as much as we are financially right now, noticeably. And also, it wouldn't be as like drama-filled bullshit. Like we have these old people in office, Sleepy Joe, and he's falling asleep, and like he's peeing his pants, and you can see him peeing his pants on stage. Like it's not funny, it's real. You can see the clone models of him going on. But I'm sorry, the current path isn't any brighter. It's the same fucking thing. Like you listen to the guy talk, and being proud of cognitive tests and things like that. It's like an Alzheimer's test. It's not that special. Like I'm not trying to bash the dude. Like I have nothing against him. I'm just saying, like, you're right. You're absolutely right. We are going to turn it over to AI at some point. And then where is the fund going to come from? Like, where is the water going to come from to feed the beast that they're tracking us on? Like, look at some of the plans that they have in motion.
Well, my worry is that, okay, like human beings for all of the history of humanity have always been the most valuable resource that any country can have. The more high intelligence, highly skilled, like hardworking people that you have in your country, the better your country is. Like look at countries that don't have any natural resources, right? And I'm not any, but like Japan, for instance, like they don't have oil. They don't have like a lot of stuff that other countries need and would have, but they've managed to make themselves an industrial powerhouse, a first world country. Why? Because they have hardworking, skilled, intelligent citizens who add value to the country by merely being that hardworking and intelligent.
Yep.
And now we're moving into an era where human beings go from an asset to a liability, right? So like liability, what do you do with a liability when you're like a business, for instance? Well, you try to mitigate your liabilities. You try to, shrink them down and, get rid of them, pass them off to someone else, make them not your problem, like plan for them, but like try to downsize it, like that kind of thing. And now we are the thing that they're going to try to mitigate. We are the thing that they're going to try to downsize. We're the thing that they're going to try to pass off and make someone else's problem. We're the thing that they're going to want less of in the future because it is no longer that valuable resource that it used to be. Now, there are certain, I'm sure, percentage of people with super high IQs who, regardless, even if you had like infinite AI, would still add value. And I think that there's probably a certain percentage of the population that will escape the culling, if you will. But man, I think the most of us are on the chopping. It's like we're the cattle, bro. We are the cattle, and we are walking through the gates. And like these slaughterhouses, they make it so that the cattle feel like, even though it's not true, there's more damage, there's more danger behind them than there is in front of them, so that they continue to move forward. And they make these rows not straight. They make them curved. Why? So that you can't see so far ahead, so you know what's coming. So all you can see is to the next curve. And all you know is there's danger behind you. So you move forward and you move forward and you move forward. And before you know it, you're on the ramp on the conveyor belt and it's too fucking late and you can't turn around. And I honestly fear, as a species, many of us are on that conveyor belt right now. Like Elon Musk was talking about it a couple weeks ago about, oh, if you haven't planned or if you don't have a plan on retiring in the next 10 years or so, then don't worry about it because it won't matter after that.
Yeah, I've heard of his new plan, and we don't have to worry about it. I've seen China. Like, China is very advanced for what they are, but apparently there's a billion people missing there, and nobody's really talking about that.
Well, and everything there's fake too. Like, have you seen these cities that they build? They're like, oh, look at these skyscrapers, and then you get up close to them, and it's like, man, you guys rushed building this so fucking fast that it's falling apart.
Well, the parking structures are really cool. Those don't seem to be falling apart, but
there was some dam that they were talking about that they built in record time, and it was a modern marvel of engineering and shit. And I watched this thing about it, and they were like, this thing is a disaster waiting to happen. Like, it's only a matter of time until this fucking thing fails. And they know it too. And they know it. You remember a couple of years ago when they had the whole cascading system of dams that were breaking in China?
Vaguely.
So they've got these dam systems where, like, on one river there'll be like 5 different dams within a short period of miles or whatever, you know. And they were getting a whole bunch of rain like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I can't remember exactly when it was. It's been a couple of years. And basically, because of the shoddy engineering and like hasty fucking production of these dams, there were several of them that were about to break. And because they were all set up in a row like that, if one breaks, it's going to break the next one, and that's going to break the next one, and that's going to break the next one, and so on. And so, like, if you have one fail, and like, thankfully, I mean, for their sake, it didn't happen. But man, they got real close to losing like a whole bunch of fucking infrastructure because it just rained a little bit, you know? Like, China's like, they're a paper tiger, I feel like. And if we actually confront them, if we actually are forced to confront them in open warfare, and hopefully it never comes to that. Hopefully clear minds will prevail before it happens, and we can realize that we make better partners than we do enemies, that we work better as like trade partners than we do fucking, you know, anything else. But yeah, I mean, ultimately though, when it comes to this war in Iran and what we're doing in Venezuela and what we're doing in other areas, it's choking off China. You think oil prices are high here? I think it was I forget which European country it was. Like 60% of their gas stations don't even have gas. Like, yes, it's hurting us, but it's killing them. Like, it's like, I don't know, man. And that's another point too, is there is this 3D global game of fucking high stakes chess going on, right? And you and I and the people in here and the people who in the chat can see like 4 pieces. And we're like, why won't you move the knight? Ah, right? Because from our point of view, that knight needs to fucking move. But we don't see the whole board. We don't see all the moving pieces. We don't have the strategy of both sides. There's things that necessarily we cannot know. And so, therefore, like it or not, you kind of have to have trust in the people that you trust. And because of that, there's a lot of people who hate Trump. And so every decision that he makes, everything that he does, it's the end of the world. It's, you know, the worst decision ever. It's provocating. It's whatever, you know. And if you like Trump, then you're like, well, I'm going to make excuses for this, and I see his idea behind that, and I'm going to give him leeway because I don't understand. And I think ultimately that's the divide. It's whether or not you believe that the person that in question, whoever it is, Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, whoever, do you believe them to be genuine? And if you believe the answer is yes, genuine, then you're going to have one set of suppositions that go along with that. And if you think, no, I think that person is disingenuous, then you're going to have a completely opposite set of presuppositions that lead you to that conclusion. So, and I honestly think that's the divide. That is. It's about trust. What's up, Leo? Leo? There is no Leo, only Zool.
If you look back at China's failure,
that's like a big, huge
it had
what up?
China's own failure actually came from them going full communist and doing the one-child policy decades ago, and it wasn't until they almost extinct themselves out of existence that they went full capitalist, and now we're thriving anyway for decades there.
There is a math problem on the number of Chinese people.
Yeah, they're missing 1 billion people.
They've had to import females too.
I don't know about 1 billion, but they're missing like a lot of people versus how much actually lives there.
Yeah, they're missing a lot of people.
Because I forget what the number was. It's like in 1900, there was like 200 million people or something like that in China. And then by 1930, that had doubled, but then they had the one-child policy, so then it stagnated for a long time. But now all of a sudden they're at like 1.1 billion.
No, your math is just slightly off, but yeah, I mean, they were, so by the end of World War I, they basically like tripled their population, and then at the end of World War II, they kind of started doing the one-child policy, so that was where it went stagnant, because you had to have at least like just like 2.5 kids per woman in order to maintain the billion they had, and then they stopped. And so now in like, you look back, they're actually missing. You should look at some of the math on that and just type it into Google and then do your own rabbit hole.
Well, I got it right here.
They're missing 1 billion people.
So in 1850, their population was approximately 450 million, according to Google. In 1949, it grew to 540 million. So from 1850 to 1950, they grew 100 million people. From 1949 to 1979, so the next 30 years, they grew from 540 million to 969 million. So they somehow doubled in that 30 years, but it took them 100 years to get 100 million. 79 to 2015, that was the one-child policy. 2024, okay, so 79, they have 969, they have less than 1 billion people in 1979, at which time they implement a one-child policy, which lasts from 79 to 2015, so 10, 20, 35 years, right? And then it skips to 2021. So it doesn't say anything about the population between 79 and 2015. 2021, suddenly they're at 1.426 billion. How do you have a government-enforced one-child policy for 35 years? You have a short period, 6 years, of no longer having those restrictions, and yet somehow you gain 450 million people in that time? That does not make sense. Because one-child policy, you would necessarily shrink. So technically, if that's true, and they did have a one-child policy, and they did start at 969 million in 1979, and they did have that one-child policy for the next 35 years, one would conclude that 2 generations of people would mean that you probably have something like half the population. But it went the other way. So I don't know, dude. That doesn't make sense to me. That is
I don't know.
Children.
I just watched a thing on what you're talking about right there. The math is a little different than what you're saying, but the bottom line is that they were over 1 billion people, and now they're actually the same size as like America. They have like 600 million people as opposed to over 1 billion people. They'll lie about the numbers supposedly, but if they do the actual census of China, and again, I'm not going to claim to be an expert, but I was just watching this the other day on how they're missing a bunch of people and they don't know where they went.
What do you think about all this information about 2020 voting stuff coming out now? Like I realize that the 2020 election's done, way in the fucking rear view. So talking about these things doesn't really change anything as far as, you know what I mean? But at the same time, with the level of fraud that it seems to have happened in the 2020 election, it's almost like one of those things that you have to talk about, because if you don't, it's gonna repeat itself.
I don't know. Yeah, me either. I heard they proved that there was no tampering or any fraud at all.
Yeah, when did they prove that though?
Yeah, that was debunked.
So all this stuff
back.
is just coming out now. Like I think it was Arizona and Georgia. The FBI came in and raided their, like, they have storerooms where all the votes and information was kept.
What, Kash Patel? Is that his FBI that you're talking about? Okay.
So therefore, that's not. What's your point? You think that Kash Patel's a disingenuous person?
I mean, yeah. If you just kind of
again, it comes back to who do you trust or not? Like, honestly, bro.
Yeah. I don't. If you kind of look at like where he's at, how he parties with people, how he's like, he doesn't have the facts in front of him when he's going to be like in front of Congress. You can watch the Congress, when they're talking to him, when they're saying, "Hey, tell me about this and the investigation of the Epstein files and this and that." You can watch him just drop the ball after ball after ball being dropped. You can watch him. Like I don't need to tell you. You should do your own research and make your own opinions. But yeah, I don't trust the man who doesn't like come to work prepared. I'm not as smart as Kash Patel. I'm not trying to say that I know what his job entails. But as far as the FBI coming up with like fraud in 2020 when we're well past that, like you already said, and yeah, like it just, to me, it feels like just a joke. Like it feels like a giant joke that people are pulling over all of our eyes to blind us all.
I completely disagree. I think we need a forensic autopsy of exactly how that body died in 2020 so that we can find out exactly where the dam broke, exactly where the crack started, exactly who is to blame and who is complicit, exactly how they did it, where the bodies are buried, so that these things can never happen again. Oh, like, think about Bernie Sanders in 2016, right? Democratic National Convention happens. There's a contest between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders as to who's going to be the Democratic nominee. Hillary Clinton, with lots of money and PAC power, decided that she didn't care about democracy and that Bernie Sanders should not be in the race anymore. And I don't know what they said to him or how much they paid him or what they did, but he dropped out. The American people would have voted for Bernie Sanders, I believe. And if it was Bernie Sanders versus Donald Trump in 2016, I believe that Sanders would have won. But since the Democrats were like, oh, we don't want competition, we don't actually believe in democracy, we just feign like we do, I'm going to pay everybody off, I'm going to do what I have to do to win, and we believe that we're going to steamroll Donald Trump anyway, so it doesn't matter who's running against them. So let me just have it. It's my turn. I'm Hillary Clinton. And then everyone was like, fuck that bitch. I hate her more than AIDS. And didn't vote for her. And then a bunch of people voted the other way, maybe as a fuck you, or I don't know what. Like, I don't know how Trump won that first one. No one expected it, especially not Hillary Clinton.
The main reason that Trump won the first time around
is going to win.
The main reason Trump won the first time around was not just because people were pissed. It was because you had a lot of younger voters that nobody counted on even voting at all.
Well, and then 2020, if you believe the investigations that are happening, and I don't know, like there's still investigations. They haven't actually come to any conclusions yet, but like, assuming that there is smoke, there's fire where there is smoke. They stole that one. And then 2024, it seems like they knew, the Republicans knew what was happening. They knew some of where the bodies were buried. They knew some of the tactics that they used. And they spent hundreds of millions of dollars training poll watchers to go to every single poll location around the country with exactly the knowledge that they had to have of what to look for and who to call when it happens. And some say, including myself, that probably stopped any kind of cheating in 2024, at least any widespread cheating. So I don't know, man. I don't know. And that's another one of those like, oh, what if? I don't have a crystal ball. I can't see how things would have worked out if Trump had won a second term in 2020 versus.
I mean, thanks
Biden.
that Bernie didn't win. Because fuck him too.
Well, and like how much damage was done to this country under 4 years of Biden? Like,
There's
you want to talk
lot.
about the Department of Justice going after political enemies? That's what Biden's Department of Justice did to the max, as hard as they could. Look at the January 6 people, and everyone's like, oh, well, okay. What are you saying about the ICE facilities today? Do you have the same kind of problem with leftist rioters violently attacking police officers at ICE facilities? If not, then shut the fuck up. If so, then maybe you have kind of a point. But even then, is the Department of Justice going after the ICE facility people with the same veracity that they went after the January 6 people? Are they going to their houses at 4 o'clock in the morning and no-knock raiding them when they have children inside?
Nope.
Not that I've seen. I could have missed it. And when,
Of course, on the liberal side, they saying that ICE is doing a lot worse, but we all know the truth.
well, like when you attack ICE, right, and you live in Denver, and then a year goes by and there's some court case, you know what they do? They don't put you in jail in Denver. They pay you money. They say, oh, well, we actually think that your rights were violated, so here's a bunch of taxpayer dollars. Go Colorado. Like, shit's so bass backwards now, man.
No, at least you got
And honestly,
magazines.
bro, I think that's part of the problem. Is like, if everybody was on the same page, if everyone was working towards the same goal, even if it wasn't their side who was in charge, then I feel like there would be significant progress being made right now. But when you have half of the country, and this is true of our side too, to be honest and to be fair, for different reasons and maybe for justifiable ones, but when the other side is in power, the side that's not in power fights against them. They struggle, they hold them up, they get in their way, they make it hard, they do things to stumble you and make you fuck up, right? And then they're like, oh, like, look how bad they're stumbling. Look how bad they're fucking up when I stuck my foot out. It's like, bro, of course that's happening. It makes sense. And we need to stop that. I think both sides need to stop that. But in order to do that, I think both sides need to like stop making the other side the enemy when they're in power too.
Well, it's too late for that. So,
well, I think we need to hold people accountable for crimes that they've committed, but I don't think we need to go overboard. You know, like when Trump's calling for like the execution of people because they did this about the military, whatever. It's like, bro, like chill out, you know? But when evidence comes out that there was fraud happening or something, and we know who did it, we shouldn't look the other way just because, like, oh, I'm a Republican and I'm in power and that's a Democrat and it's going to look like I'm targeting Democrats. No. You fucking show the evidence that the person's guilty and you prove it in court. That's what we have. We have this wonderful thing in this country called innocence until proven guilty. And we have the presumption of innocence when we're accused of crimes. So that is something that's a tradition that we need to hold to continue forward with, right? But at the same time, we need to like be able to trust that. And when you have people on both sides of the aisle, but I think particularly on one side of the aisle, who have abused that sacred trust that we put in the judicial system of our government to hold people accountable for crimes, then you basically make the whole thing questionable. You make the whole thing, we don't know if it's true or not. Like anything that you do is now suspect. So we need to stop that. We need to figure out a way to fix that. And honestly, I thought Kash Patel going after drug dealers and rapists and like making record numbers of arrests against like child pedophiles and stuff like that in this country, like he might be dropping the ball in some ways, but no one has arrested more pedophiles than Kash Patel. So in some ways, he's doing really good.
The interesting thing coming out here this week, actually, is how the Democrat Party is pretty much broke right now. They have next to no money for the 2028 election cycle. There's a lot of infighting because of that Graham Planter, whatever I pronounce that guy's name from Maine. There's what it is. It seems like every single day, everything coming out about that guy is just worse and worse.
which makes it even more worse because a desperate Democrat Party means it's going to get 10 times worse.
Hillary Clinton won more states and got more votes. She already had more delegates going into the convention. He said conversation to the convention. I don't know. Did she? I feel like a lot of what, and like, it seemed to me, if memory serves correctly, that there was a hotly contested battle between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. No one knew who was going to win. There was some secret meeting or something. And then all of a sudden, Bernie Sanders dropped out and Hillary Clinton was the nominee. There was not a vote. That never happened. There was never an actual vote because he dropped out before there could be a vote.
And a few months later, Bernie bought his fourth house and a nice boat.
There's still a few more PDFs Patel forgot about. And I know that. And I like the whole Epstein list is still a fucking wart on Trump's forehead, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not going away. I'm sorry, bud. That's one that I happen to have strong feelings about. Because, and here's the reason, right? Well, we can't go after these people. This is what they say. We can't go after these people because if we go after these people, it's going to crash the economy. These are the most powerful, richest people in the world. And if we bust them, they're gonna take all of us with them. It's gonna be the end of the world.
Oh no.
And at first I was like, yeah, you guys are right, you know, like the economy's gonna go down if you bust these, that's gonna. Then I was like, bro, the people who've been to the island are in charge of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't do anything about it, the people who have been to the island will continue to rule the world. And this is our seemingly one chance to do something about it. And inevitably, I think what will happen if we push it hard enough is they will give us some sort of patsy. They'll give us some sort of, appeasement. Someone will be put on the chopping block until everyone's like, okay, we're good, but nothing's actually going to change. So there's that part of it. But at the same time, man, if we don't push for it, if we don't stay on this fucking message, if we don't continually remind people of this injustice, then nothing will happen. So I don't know, man. Which is worse, appeasement or nothing?
Nothing.
I think appeasement is worse.
I mean, appeasement's kind of like, all right, we as the
They
city
both
of
sound
Denver.
bad.
What's that?
I said they both kind of sound bad.
Yeah, they're
Appeasement
both
and do
good.
nothing. Either way, it's stupid.
It's like the city of Denver being like, we are going to get rid of this homeless problem, right? And then instead of getting rid of the homeless problem, they make it so good for homeless people that they just move here from all around. And now we have 10 times more homeless people.
Yeah.
Do you guys know anything about what's going on in LA? There's the LA
Like the
mayoral race.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a weird dichotomy. You have New York City with Mamdani, and now you've got Los Angeles with Spencer Pratt. Now he's not the governor, he's not the mayor yet, and he might not win. To be fair, he's a Republican running in Democrat fucking Los Angeles. His chances are pretty fucking slim. But
Yeah.
it seems like a lot of people are fucking super sick of the crazy liberal, like over the top fucking stupid policies that Los Angeles specifically and California have implemented.
Mm-hmm.
So people are saying he's got a chance. I don't know. I kind of like him. I never watched him when he was a reality star. I don't know anything about that.
Was he on The Hills, or am I thinking of a different reality TV
honestly don't know.
series?
Remember which one?
Because I know his wife is Heidi Montag, and I was trying to think what the hell she was famous for. And I think that might be what it is. But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what happens there.
Hardtack diet going to end American obesity. That's why everyone used to like gravy so much. You need something for your hardtack.
There's apparently a video that Shane Strickland put out of it's him doing AI beating the shit out of Dylan Mulvaney.
I'm so done. I'm so fucking done with these motherfuckers, man. Say.
Well, I will say this about the whole Iran and Trump thing. I don't know that Trump is doing the best thing. I don't know. I hope he is. I don't know that he is. But I am much happier with him being in charge of the military while we are in conflict with Iran than this fucking bitch.
Which foreign country do you consider to be our greatest adversary?
Well, there are different reasons that we should be thoughtful about each.
Why is that audio so bad?
Most recently, I think there's
I can hear it.
an obvious
Is she
one
even
in
talking?
mind, which is Iran. And look, I mean, Iran has American blood on their hands, okay? And what we saw in terms of just this attack on Israel, 200 ballistic missiles, what we need to do to ensure that Iran never achieves the ability to be a nuclear power.
So she was saying that we need to back Israel, and that we need to do whatever we need to do to make sure that Iran's never a nuclear power. I'm glad Trump's in charge, not her. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? The only thing I can think of when I see her is how great was her blowjobs.
Dude, she was such a good blowjob artist. She got to vice president of the country.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get the vice president of the country on blowjobs by not being amazing at blowjobs.
Yeah, like
it's pretty ridiculous.
Well, that is how she originally got into power in the first place. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Sean?
Yes.
I'm not
Did
going
it
to
with Montel Williams.
It was her, her sucking off Willie Brown, who was the
Yeah.
mayor at the time.
Mayor Willie Brown, the mayor of Los Angeles, appointed her the what was she? The
What? She was the girlfriend of Montel Williams? I didn't know that.
Yeah, at one point she was one of
What?
his hookers or hoes or whatever.
yeah, she was sucking
They
off
dated.
Montel Williams, bro.
Go down on that. Scroll down just a little bit.
A while.
And how long have they been down?
Fine. I think we'll do fine.
Donald, what do you think about all this? You're a developer. You've built buildings all your life.
Well, there's never been anything like this. It's disgraceful. And I hope we attack fast. I hope we find out who it is and go fast. Okay.
Why'd you want to come down here today?
I have about 100 men working down here, so just to spur them on. Hi, folks. Hi, folks. I have over 100 men out, and I hear doing an amazing job, so I just want to give them some support.
These have been from here in development?
Yeah, men from my company. We have another 100 coming in a little while.
And how long have they been down here?
They've been down here for about a day and a half.
What have you talked to other
How many of those people have mesothelioma now?
developers? Are they donating their time, their men's work?
Well, I hope they are. I haven't really focused on that, but
I
we have a
was
lot of
Springer.
people coming down here, and a lot.
Dude, what's crazy?
We leave
Okay.
the Middle East and never go back.
Asbestos, right? Asbestos they used to use as a fire retardant that they would put in buildings, and up until like the early 1980s or something, or late 70s, buildings were coded to have asbestos, and then you had to like spend millions and millions and millions of dollars to get asbestos out of your big building. You know, like I think someone quoted the Twin Towers, and it was something, I don't remember what the number was. It was something astronomical. So they're like, okay, we'll put it under advisement. And then they got hit by fucking airplanes, quote unquote, and fell down into their own footprint at free fall speed. Because that's how buildings fall when you hit them with an airplane. I don't know why more controlled demolitions don't just fly Boeing 737s into fucking the side of the building rather than spending all the time and money of wiring a building to demolish and fall into its own footprint. You can just fly a fucking airplane into it. Apparently, it works great.
A good airplane. That's why.
Yeah. In fact, you don't even have to fly an airplane into the building that you want to destroy. You can fly an airplane into the building next to the building you want to destroy. And then that building will catch on fire, burn for a couple of hours, and then fall into its own footprint at free fall speed at a predetermined time, reported by the BBC accidentally an hour early. Pepperidge Farms remembers.
That would suck for the people who had to work in that building. So, like, I'm a demolition the building next to it, but I gotta take down the building next to that one. At least unemployment. I mean, nice.
I mean, if you want to be mad at Israel, why don't you be mad at the dancing Israelis who were on top of a adjacent roof of a building with camcorders and equipment recording as the planes hit the Twin Towers and cheering?
And what's crazy is that most of the Islamic population in America has come here since 9/11.
And now we have a mayor. Well, New York has. Ours probably
trying
coming
to take the
soon.
worst laws of Texas right now and create a Sharia law piece of shit. There is what it is.
I'm just wondering how the next mayor of Chicago is going to be worse, because I know it is.
Do you think Tulsi Gabbard's going to be the next president?
Doubtful.
What? No.
My understanding is the current front-runners are J.D. Vance, and for the Democrat Party is Pete Buttigieg, which is insane because that guy's a failed mayor who was also the shittiest transportation secretary in U.S. history.
I think somebody's going to pop in to fight Buttigieg. Buttigieg. He's going to be out.
It depends how great is her,
For blowjobs?
Yeah.
It's going to be Vance's blowjobs.
Well, her husband's dying of thyroid cancer right now is what it is.
Well, that's what I was going to say about she was a Democrat who ran successfully as a Democrat in Hawaii. She was a National Guard officer, if I remember correctly. Became a senator, Democrat member of Congress. Got tired of the fucking Democrats' bullshit. Joined the Trump administration as the head of NSA. Dropped out because her husband's dying of cancer so that she can spend time with him as he's dying. Like, that gets votes from both sides and the middle. I think she's got a shot.
Of course not.
Maybe vice president. Her or Rubio.
Oh, God. What?
There's quite a few people I think that could easily be in the mix in 2028. I think Massey's making himself a case right now just because of how they fucked him over in the midterms. Here's what it is.
Man, that's sad about that British kid who fucking got stabbed and they handcuffed him.
Yeah.
Oh, what's even more disgusting about that is my understanding it was 3 female cops that were laughing at him as he's dying.
I don't believe you are stabbed, mate.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. I mean, it's like he's saying, like, if you watch the footage, he says I got stabbed like 4 times before they finally listen. They're like, "Oh, you got stabbed? What?" And then
he said, "I don't believe you got
I can't breathe. I can't breathe." Well, they're not even like looking at him or doing anything. And then he sits there not moving for like 5 minutes. And they're like, I wonder if he's okay.
Jesus.
And you can hear him gasping for air. Like, you can hear the struggle of him trying to talk.
It's terrible, dude.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, the guy who stabbed him is like, "Oh, he knocked off my turban."
Racist.
It's like, "Oh, put that racist in handcuffs because he knocked off the sheik's turban." Why did he knock off his turban? Oh, because he was getting stabbed at the time. Sorry, he knocked off your fucking funny hat.
And the fact that sheiks are legally allowed to carry because of their religion.
Yeah, it's
but
bullshit.
the rest of the British people can't.
Well, I thought that there were ceremonial knives, so they're not supposed to be sharp. They're supposed to be like it's supposed to have writing and stuff on it. The edge is not supposed to be sharp. Not supposed to have much of a point, But the knife that guy
if
had,
you press it hard
razor.
enough, right? But even if it wasn't
2 pounds of pressure.
sharp, right? Even if it wasn't sharp,
Yeah. It
apply
only
enough
takes
pressure.
2 pounds of pressure. Yeah, exactly. 2 pounds. That's all you need to pierce flesh.
But they still get to carry it, even if it wasn't sharp.
You can carry a knife
Well, all
anywhere
you have-
as long as it's close.
Right. Well, all you have is your fist. If you're trying to be, a law-abiding subject of the British crown,
Oh, you're talking about in Britain. I was like, in America, I carry a knife everywhere with me, at least 2.
Yeah, in the UK.
Oh, yeah.
It came out recently that I guess a lot of the Royal Guard is actually sleeping on the job.
Oh, that looks fun. I want to do that.
Was that part of the protest from earlier in the UK? Was that
Yep.
what it was? Okay.
In Southampton.
Oh, Jesus. Dog, stop snoring. Everybody can hear you.
I don't know. When are you white people going to have enough? That's all I want to know.
Fucking white.
It's coming. Don't you worry.
I mean, we've got an awful lot of suicidal empathy is the problem. There's so much suicidal empathy.
So glad I'm brown.
that like, I don't know how you get past it. I don't know. I think we're fucked. Like I can fight as hard as I want to, but people just like, you know.
I've seen that theory about the Earth being like flat and round, flat and orbital.
It don't. Flat on the bottom, round on top.
Why is every other body round then? When you look into space and you see like the moon, or you see like Jupiter, and we can see them like rotating, you know?
But it's not Earth.
They say
not Earth,
that
though. That's the
just
moon.
looks like it just looks like a water blob underwater. That's what they're saying now. It's just a water blob.
The Earth is unique.
And then like if you go like if you were
in order
to
to
take
sustain life, it has to be a dome.
if you were to take an altimeter and you were to be in a aircraft, you go up, the plane would constantly have to turn its nose down in order to fly in a circle. So it's unrealistic that the Earth would be round. And then if you go any direction other than north, you have to continuously reposition yourself to go east or west, because if you go any direction other than north, you end up going south. Hence the wall that goes all the way around the bottom. It's a very interesting story.
Alec Baldwin ceremonial blades. Wow.
How? Okay, explain that to me. If I go due east, won't I just like end up in the same spot eventually?
Yeah, so you don't end up in the same spot. If you go east, you're going to end up south. No matter what, you're going to hit the South Pole, because supposedly the Earth is actually flat-ish. Look at the Earth more like a compass, like one of those round compasses, where it's flat and it always stays like a level, and so it just floats there like that. That's the way the Earth is supposedly. And like every image we have of space is CGI.
Tell me you don't believe that.
No, I'm telling you what they're really seriously pushing that. I don't know what to believe because one, I don't fly an aircraft. Two, I don't have a boat, so I don't know. And I've never been to Antarctica, so I really don't know. I don't know. I know that the stars in the heavens are a fixed position. So if we're spinning at this crazy rate of speed and we're going around and we always see the same things in the sky, how is that possible? I mean, you tell me. Like, I'm not a mathematician, but it doesn't make a lot of sense.
You don't have a boat or a plane? What are you, poor?
Well, it makes perfect sense,
exactly.
John. Okay, it's like if I am driving in a car and there's a tree right next to the road that I'm driving on, the tree moves by fast in my perception. Like I'm driving like 60, the tree goes by me at 60 miles an hour, right? But then I look at the mountain that's 50 miles away and I'm going 60 miles an hour and it's moving, right? You can percept, like checking it minute to minute, you can see that it moves a little bit, but compared to the tree, it barely moves at all, right? Because it's way far away. And then you look at something that's way far away, right? Like really, really, really far away. The amount that you would have to move to perceptibly see a difference in the position of the thing that you're observing becomes also much greater.
I think
makes sense.
That's fine. And you can believe whatever you want. I don't care. I'm not going to tell you that I believe something I don't know, because I don't know. It makes sense to me that you would have to continuously position the nose down in an aircraft if you're going across a round surface, because you'd have to angle it down, and they don't angle it down. So it is a weird thing. There's some really interesting studies as far as that goes. The other thing you look at is
hold on. Before you move on to the next thing, that's about air pressure, right? Because the closer to the Earth you are on a globe, the higher the air pressure is. The further away from that you go, the lower the air pressure is. So they could nose up as much as they wanted, or nose, like there's only a certain level of altitude that they can fly in. and they don't have to nose up or nose down because it's so far for the Coriolis effect to take effect where you would even have to make any kind of adjustment at all, that by the time you did, it'd probably be imperceptible. So
yeah, again, I'm not going to make a statement either way. I don't fly. I don't have a boat. I can't tell you either way. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm not going to assume that everything that I've been told in my entire life is correct, because I know for a fact that everything that I've been told in my life is a lie. So I'm not trying to pretend like I know whether or not the earth is flat or round. It makes sense to me as far as it being a bubble. It makes sense. It makes sense because the stars don't change in the sky. If the sky itself was, there's billions and billions of stars out there, then why do we see the same ones over and over and over? Like, that means that not only are we propelling around, and not only are we circling the sun going around, but the entire galaxy that we're in is also going around and around and around. It's quite intense for me to think that I could possibly know what that is. It looks like it's a fixed image in the sky. It looks
because
like it's,
to you in your lifespan, it is.
yeah.
But if you were
So
to
there you go.
extend your lifespan, or if you were to somehow be able to magically make like a time-lapse camera that took one image every 100 years or something, right? And then you wait till you have 1 billion images, so it'd be 100 billion years, and then you watch that shit at like fucking 1,000 frames per second or something, like something ridiculous like that. Then the whole thing would come to life. The stars would be moving, they'd be zipping around, things would be changing, it'd be dynamic. Our position within the galaxy would be moving, the galaxy's position within the universe would be moving.
Okay. Again,
but since all of these things are so far away and the vast distances between them are so great, and the relative speeds that we're traveling at are so small, even though it's fast as shit. When you look at we're moving at 60,000 miles per minute or something like that, sitting on the surface of the planet with how fast we're spinning, and then how fast we're spinning, like rotating around the sun, and then how fast the sun is rotating around the fucking the center of the galaxy, and how fast that galaxy is flying through space. We're moving fast as shit right now. But moving that fast to take us from our position where we are to the nearest star would still be hundreds of years to get there. So, yeah, dude, I think that the problem is that it's about perception. It's about size and scale that we as human beings just aren't even used to imagining or dealing with,
There you go.
And you know what? You're right.
That's why I don't.
You're right about this, that there's been so much that we've been lied to. There's been so much misinformation, disinformation, bullshit information that leads us in the wrong direction because it's all centrifuge or whatever, that it's become nearly impossible to believe anything. That anything that anyone says of authority, especially anybody who has authority, who's telling you that this is the way that things are, we have been lied to so many times by authority that I honestly can't blame you one bit when I think about it.
Look at flight plans. Just look at flight plans from one place to another place. And when I say flight plans, I don't mean from here to Colorado. I'm not talking about that. That's just that's walking.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen it. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So the flight plans don't make any sense on a world map if we're just going a direct line from one place to the next. So at some point there's some weird stuff going on. And then if you just look at the ancient maps, the maps that do have, a firmament and they have a flat earth model, is quite interesting what's going on. And then just the way things are going, like you can kind of like you said, I've been lied to, and I don't really know what is what, and I don't want to pretend like I do unless I get my pilot's license and I get a plane and I can fly to the end of the ocean and see what's on the other side. I'm not going to tell you one way or the other because it would be a lie.
Well, I mean, you could get on a plane. You don't have to have a pilot's license.
Sure.
Observe where the plane goes.
I think I would rather just go to the edge of the earth and see if there is, like you said, what if I just go, head out towards, so I'm in Minnesota right now, so I'd fly out to New York and then just go across through, what would I do? Take the Atlantic route down under Africa and then go around that way, like, see if I come up on the other side, and then there's Argentina, and I'm like, oh shit, it's real. Like, that'd be cool. Like,
okay, what about astronauts though? Are they all in on it?
Well, if you look at the whole thing, everything you see in space is all CGI. It's all, you don't
right,
see
but they
any
would all have to be
pictures.
like, all right, boss, send me into space, and I will keep the lie up about the CGI. Don't worry. Every single one of them.
Did you not see the launch? Did you not see the launch?
Explain this to me, though. How many people have been in space? Hundreds, thousands, maybe, right?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
So like 1,000 people have been in space. And if everything's fake and gay and everything's CGI and everyone knows it, then necessarily it logically follows, therefore, every single person who's been in space is in on the lie.
Mm-hmm. So when you take somebody who goes into space and you watch the aircraft curve, you don't watch it go straight. You don't watch it pop out and watch it go boom and I'm out. You've watched the Chinese, spacecraft hit the firmament. You've seen them hit the water up at the top there. You've seen that. If you haven't,
791 people.
Not at all. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, all right.
791 people has been in space.
Yeah, it's like 1,000.
Okay. So these people are in space, and so they turn around, and they're looking back at Earth, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's so beautiful. Where is all this space junk? Where's all of Elon Musk's 1,000 satellites? Where are all of?" Okay, so Musk has his own Starlink system up there, right?
Pause there.
Okay.
So you're talking about like orbit, right? In theory, if the Earth is in fact a globe and that there are in fact satellites in space in orbit around the Earth, there's thousands of them, then why can't you see them? Right? That's the question.
Yeah, from the pictures from space looking back down to
then
Earth.
Put yourself in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, right? You're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, which is much smaller than the entirety of orbit around the planet. If in fact we are on a planet and if in fact there is orbit around it. Do you agree with that? The Pacific Ocean, a portion of the surface of the planet would be much smaller than the circumference, than the sphere that would be created by orbit around the planet?
Sure. I don't know where you're going with that. It doesn't make any sense, but okay.
Okay, so like, let's say that the Earth is 1 unit around, right?
Sure.
And then you go into orbit, so now you're further out than the surface. Now you're like 1.5 units, right?
Sure.
Because it's a bigger hole than the hole that makes the size of the Earth is a smaller circle than the size of the circle that would be in orbit around that circle. Correct?
Okay.
So
I don't know.
There's
I'm not
much
going to argue it.
Bro, how do you not understand what I'm saying?
So what I'm arguing that you're not hearing is that every picture that we have from space,
I heard you already, and I'm
is
going to make my
CGI.
point. So like,
There's no point to be made. There's never been a picture that's not CGI.
You're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. There's 1,000 buoys in the entire Pacific Ocean. You take a picture of the Pacific Ocean. Why can't you see any of the buoys? There's 1,000 of them. Oh, because the Pacific Ocean is gigantic, right? If there's 1,000 buoys in the entire Pacific Ocean, your chances of taking a picture and seeing even one of them is basically zero.
That's not at all. Like, no, that's not even close to what I'm saying at all.
I'm
There's
using it as an analogy. Now,
your analogy is incorrect.
Now we're in space, which is much bigger than the Pacific Ocean.
Okay.
Much bigger circle that goes around the Earth, not the surface of it, but miles off the surface. Therefore, the circumference of the circle is bigger because the diameter of the fucking middle of the circle is larger. I don't know how
your whole. It's easy because what you're saying doesn't make any sense. I've been out in the ocean. I've been on multiple cruises before. There's no buoys out in the middle of the ocean.
Yes, there is.
No, there isn't. No, there isn't. No, there isn't. There are a few, but there's not a ton of them. Not like the diagrams that you see of us. If you look at space, if you look at the picture of the Earth and every satellite that's positioned in space, if you look at the map of it, you're not going to confuse me with your rhetoric of nonsense. If you look in space and you look and see where all the satellites are positioned, it's a fucking junkyard of satellites in space. Just Elon Musk has enough to cover the entire globe. Then you talk about every single government has enough to cover the entire globe. When you look at the patterns of the trash in space, it covers the entire sphere of the Earth is covered in satellites. And you have to assume that those satellites are traveling at the same speed that the Earth is traveling, correct? Because they're in orbit. So they're orbiting around the Earth, therefore staying in the same position. Or are they moving freely? Who knows? Who gives a fuck? The bottom line is, when you go into space, there's no pictures of them actually looking back at Earth. It's all CGI. That's what I'm saying. You can look at pictures from an airplane. You can look at pictures of a guy going up in a balloon, and you can look down, and then what you're saying is accurate because of how far it is from the distance of how far he went in the balloon before he jumped off that platform and dove back into Earth. You're correct, 100%. But when you're looking back from space, there's no pictures that we have looking back at us. It's show me one picture of Earth from space that's not CGI. There's none, Mark. There's none.
Yeah, there's a fucking million, dude. You're fucking retarded if you think that.
No, there
seriously.
Isn't.
Okay, couple things. Number one, there are thousands of buoys in the Pacific Ocean, ranging from coastal navigational markers to vast international scientific arrays, because buoys are managed by dozens of different countries, agencies, private entities. There is no single centralized count. There are thousands, right? And when you're talking about the Pacific Ocean, as an example, that is a surface area. So there's one dimension that you can put a buoy in, right? So you're looking at the number of square miles. So it's how many buoys per square mile. In orbit, you're not looking at how many square miles there are you? You're looking at how many cubic miles there are. So while there are probably like one buoy for every, let's say, 100 square miles of Pacific Ocean, there's probably one satellite for every 15,000 fucking cubic miles of space, of orbit.
Throw some pictures up on the screen. Throw some pictures up of space.
Sure,
right now. Throw a couple. Throw a couple of those up. I'd like to see them. I'd love to see them. That would be incredible.
I will show this. Hold on. How many satellites are there per cubic mile in orbit? There are roughly 14,500 to 15,600 active satellites orbiting Earth, which is a lot. That's a lot.
Sure.
But orbital space is immense, spanning millions of cubic miles. Satellites are incredibly sparse. On average, there are less than 0.000001 satellites per cubic mile. Meaning spacecraft are separated by thousands of miles. Meaning, if you take a picture in space at random, even though there's 15,000 satellites there, the odds that you're close enough to actually see one are basically 0. And if you're close enough to see one, the odds that you're close enough to see 2 are absolutely 0. Because they don't fly close enough to each other to even fucking come in contact. Right? Now, let's look at this. How many buoys are there in the Pacific Ocean? There are thousands of buoys in the Pacific Ocean.
Sure. I'm not arguing with that. I'm not arguing with anything you're saying. I'm just telling you the live map of Starlink.
Well, what you were saying though is you sailed in the Pacific Ocean and you never saw
sailed in the Pacific. I never saw a buoy, not once. Well, when you start getting, I take that back.
The odds of you seeing a buoy in the Pacific Ocean are much higher than your odds of seeing a fucking satellite in orbit while you're in orbit too.
Okay, so here is a picture of all the satellites that are in space. I'm looking at pictures. I'm not looking at words. And so I see a bunch of satellites. This is awesome. Okay, you can see them up there. Now I want to see a picture from a satellite. Like, how do I tap into like a satellite to look down? Or even better yet, how do I look up and see what a satellite looks like in space? How do I do that? Where do I go?
You can go outside and see fucking SpaceX fucking satellites going by all the fucking time.
Yeah, I've seen those. I've seen the ones that you're talking about.
They're clearly not stars, and they're clearly not like fucking aircraft.
So here we go. So
they're silent. You can see them flying in a line. They're little dots, little tiny spots of light that you can barely see.
So he believes that we can launch thousands of satellites, but we couldn't take a photo looking back at the planet.
I'm just looking for a picture that's not CGI.
Why do you say it's CGI? Where's your proof that it's CGI? All you got to do is look at the metadata on the photo, and it's going to tell you what kind of camera it was taken with and everything else. Now, anything that's like from the Apollo missions, things like that, that was taken with film, so it's not going to have metadata. But stuff from like the Artemis mission recently, all you got to do is click on the metadata, and it's going to tell you exactly the camera, the lens used, everything.
All right. So show me one of those pictures. Where do I go?
State University.
Google Artemis mission moon photos. One of the most famous photos is the Earthrise photo.
Here's my kid. Foods.
You'd have to explain to me why looking out in space, every single fucking other planet that exists is a circle, is a sphere that you can see. Oh, here's a camera view of the space station looking down on the Earth right here. Weird. This is live, by the way.
Okay.
Well, is this CGI? Can I prove to you that it's not?
I don't know. I can't prove that it's not, but maybe you can. From what he was.
I don't have to. It's not my problem. I believe it is. Again, it comes down to what you believe. Yeah. I believe this is live streamed, fucking from space, from orbit, looking down on our planet.
I just believe I don't know. Like, that's all I said. I don't know because I haven't been there. That's all I'm saying. I'm not just going to believe something because somebody tells me it's real. I don't just believe things because I'm told. Like, that's okay. That's great.
It's not just because I'm told. Did someone just tell me this, or am I watching it?
I don't know, but I don't have to believe what I'm told. I'm
literally watching it right now.
Yeah, I see that, and it doesn't even look like it's from space to me. It looks like it's much, much closer in a certain sort of way.
It's orbit.
Yeah.
Orbit and deep space are two different things.
Yeah, I want to find that whatever you're looking at right now, and I want to do what he said and try to figure out how to see it.
Can you pull up the Earthrise photo from the Artemis mission?
Oh, here's another live stream of the Earth from this is from the International Space Station. A live stream right now, and granted, it's kind of hard to see anything because the Earth's in the background there. Fishman. Do we live on a flat Earth? We're having a debate.
What is Fishman? Oh, he's someone he had to chat. I'm not trying to say it's a flat Earth. I've never said it was a flat Earth. I think it's both.
Well,
Yeah, and
I don't think it can be both. I think it's either got to be one or the other.
No, that's your opinion, and that's fine. I'm not going to discredit that.
okay, I love this right now that you guys are arguing about this. Go.
Well,
No,
I'm not
I'm
arguing. I'm just
mind
saying,
fucked
like,
on that one. How do you have something that's flat and round at the same time?
Okay, so again, this is just what I think. I don't know anything because I haven't been there. But like, if you look at a compass,
define
right?
a flat object, define a round object.
Okay, I'm not going to define anything. I'm going to tell you why I think what I think. Okay, so
Well,
if
I'm asking you to like what you think. Make it a definition.
And I already told you I can't make it a definition because I haven't been to the ends of the earth. So I don't know if it's round or flat. I don't know that. Like,
but you think
I'm
it's
trying
both.
to tell you, correct. That's what I think it is. That's a thought.
That's the dumbest shit I've fucking ever heard in my entire
That's
life.
fine. You guys think I'm dumb anyway because I don't like Trump. Like, whatever. Who cares what you think? Nobody cares what you think either. Like,
I just would like to clarify that all politicians need to be. Never mind. I probably can't say it here.
Yeah.
Well,
we know what you meant. So go on with your next point.
That's it. That was the one point
Giving
I had.
hand jobs. Okay.
Yeah. They need to all be given hand jobs at
It's
the
good.
salon.
You guys are fine. Do your thing. It's all good. I'm in the wrong community here to talk.
No, it's not that you're in the wrong
It's
community. I think it's a good point for you to take a step back and look at it. Like, I can understand your reason that you could question why Earth could be flat, right? Like, there is
I'm
evidence.
not telling you Earth is flat. I'm not saying that though. You're telling me that it can't be flat and round at the same time. That's what you just told me, and that's what I'm telling you. I believe. So you haven't even heard what I believe because you keep interrupting, and because nobody wants to be open-minded enough to understand what it is I'm trying to say.
That's what I asked.
Yeah.
I wasn't asking about the Earth. I asked you to define what flat is and what round is, and you said you can't do that because you have. I'm not asking for you to define the Earth. I'm asking you to define what you believe something flat is and what you believe something round is.
Okay, so flat would be, for instance, the ground I walk on is flat. I'm walking on a flat ground, right? But obviously, it's going to go up and down because it's going to have mountains and hills. There's going to be a little altitude that's going to be changing. So it's not flat because it goes up and down. Okay. So there you go. I've already proved how it's not flat. Okay. How it's round. Okay. So it's still a sphere. How is it a sphere? Okay, great. So here you go. Seeing the pictures of the Earth, like you can see right there, it's a ball. Okay, great. I understand that. I'm not saying it's not a ball. All right. But what I'm saying is that if you've ever taken a compass and the compass goes due north, right? That's how compasses work. They're directed towards the North Pole, right? They have a geomagnetic pull towards the north. That's the way they go. So if you ever take a compass and you put the material that's in the compass inside of a ball, inside of a sphere, and you put it on there, it is on the top. So then if you were to cut, basically just like cut that world in half that's there, and on the top is the Earth, and on the bottom is the under Earth, right? So not arguing with the idea of it being round. What I'm saying is that it floats on it's like a ball. It floats on a ball and it's a flat plane on the top of the ball. So I'm not arguing that it's not round. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that it floats on top and that's the way it moves. So when you go, if you were to go due east, you're going to end up at the South Pole. Do your own research. I can't do the research for you, like Honda said. You do your own research. I can't figure it out because I'm not traveling. I want to travel. I want so badly to try this out, but I can't. I don't have the finances to do that. But like if you go due east, supposedly you end up in the South Pole, which is why people keep coming against some sort of stupid ice wall, which is Antarctica, which we're not allowed to go to. Okay. So why is that? What's at the end? How does it work? Is there really a Middle Earth? Like, is there things we don't understand? Maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out as much as everybody else.
Where are you getting that if you go due east or due west, like if you go any direction, you're going to end up at the South Pole?
Well, I say that because of the maps that you look at when you look at flight patterns. When you look at flight patterns, you've got to take.
Yeah. Here's the problem with maps is they're distorted because you're taking a 3-dimensional sphere and trying to make it 2-dimensional flat surface.
Yeah. Yes. Right. Yeah. So I'm saying that both are true. That's what I'm saying. And that's exactly what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, you'd have to explain why Newton's laws of planetary motion explain exactly what's going on in the cosmos above us, observable between the planets and the sun. You would have to explain why all of the other planets that we can see, that you can look at with a telescope, that you can, like, that's one specifically. You can look at Jupiter with a telescope that you can buy off Amazon that's made of glass and plastic and shit that you can feel in your hands, right?
Yeah.
There's no CGI in there. There's no computer in there. It's just lenses and light. And you can look out and you can see Jupiter if you have a good enough one. And you're looking and you have everything right. And you can see when you look at Jupiter that it's very clearly a ball. And if you watch it for long enough, you can see that the ball is rotating. And if, you know, again, if you had a powerful enough telescope, you could see that about Mars. You could see that about, you know, every other planet in our solar system is a ball and it's rotating and spinning, and you can see the other sides of it.
What if it's just a circle?
Well, that's a huge argument about why this is a thing in the first place.
That's
right?
ironic.
Because the moon is in
I was just saying something
geosynchronous
stupid.
orbit
All
with
right.
us. So there's only one side of the moon that you ever see. So it's kind of weird. The moon's it kind of like fucked everything up in a way, because everyone looks at the moon and they say, well, you only see one side of the moon, so it's just a flat disc, right? And then, like, at the time they didn't have telescopes. All they had was, you know, eyeballs, and you could see fucking Mars or whatever. But all that is a glowing dot that looks kind of like a star but brighter, and it moves. So it's not a star. We know that, but we don't really know anything else about it. But now we can look at these things and see, oh yeah, that's a sphere. It's spinning. It's moving around, and other spheres are moving around too. And this giant sphere in the middle that we can see. Why would we be the only thing in that whole system that doesn't follow the same rules as everything else?
Well, maybe we're geocentric. I don't know.
Easy, Copernicus.
I literally was just saying that just to sound stupid. So,
well, I mean, that would be my that would be a huge logical fallacy that you would have to explain.
I guess the only way that would make sense.
Me on the way to go get some drugs.
I already got drugs.
It's dumb. Okay, I'm gonna go. I love y'all. Thanks for entertaining my nonsense,
bro.
We're not making fun of you. I was just thinking it was a little silly that you're saying can be both flat and round in the curves.
I guess if you were to take it and you were to look at it from a flat, like Honda said, spread out the world like super wide, right? And just look at like Antarctica on the bottom, right? It's just a cap. Well, rather than Antarctica being the cap, Antarctica would be what they call the wall around our world, right? And that's where they got that from, because it goes all the way around. I don't really know, because like I said, I haven't been there, so I don't really know. But I think the Earth is a ball. I'm not saying it's not a ball. I don't know if it's an 8-ball, but it's definitely some sort of squishy thing out there.
It's definitely not an 8-ball.
You know, there's foot races that they do across Antarctica now. So where you start off, it's like Antarctica summer. So it's like the best time of the year that you can do it, when the weather is nice and you got the sunlight 24 hours a day and shit like that, right? And they set out from one side of Antarctica And I think they go across like the shortest part of it or whatever to make it easier. But they're also doing it with snowshoes and a backpack full of food and fucking tents and shit. Right? These dudes are hardcore. They literally walk from one side of Antarctica to the other and end up on the other side of Antarctica.
Mm-hmm.
Like you couldn't do that if it was just a wall.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd be interested to see what's okay. Like, think about this: 12,800 years ago, approximately, the end of the Ice Age happened, in which miles of ice got melted in a short period of time off of the northern part of North America and Europe, all at the same time. While at the same time, Alaska was ice free. So we have like this huge part of Alaska now is just covered with ice all the time and never fucking melts. And back then, when everything was covered with ice, Alaska was ice free, and yet Canada was covered with 2 miles of like, it doesn't make sense, right? Unless we were on like some sort of like a different fucking polar type thing where maybe our tilt was different back then or something. And like in that case, Antarctica wouldn't have been on the bottom of the planet. It would have been where like Australia is or something, in which case there could have been people living there building fucking temples and pyramids and shit. In which case, if the fucking ice ever melts, we're going to find pyramids.
Yeah. They say there's more pyramids in America than there are anywhere else.
So are you suggesting that we were on a completely different axis tilt?
I don't know. It's just a weird fucking fact of science that Canada and Northern Europe and stuff was covered with miles of ice. But at the very same time, for inexplicable reasons, Alaska had like fucking tigers and lions and woolly mammoths and saber-toothed cats and fucking all kinds of shit that lived there.
Well,
and they know that because they have the bones and they've covered
we have to back up to the whole ice age and ice melting and water levels rising because that's not a thing. Ice is Ice is the only liquid substance that we know that loses density when it becomes a solid.
Yeah.
That's very provable, right? Like the volume of ice, the same amount of water frozen makes more space, right? You would agree.
Yeah. Agreed.
So if all the ice in the entire world was to melt, our oceans are not going to rise.
Correct. That is absolutely correct. That's
why wouldn't they? If the ice is on land,
there you go. The ice is separate from the water because it's held up on top of mountains and hills by land, and then when it melts,
yes,
when it melts, okay. So is there ice on top of is there snow on top of a mountain right now?
There's snow on top of a mountain, not ice.
Okay, does the snow on top of a mountain add or subtract from the ocean level?
What he's saying is he's talking about icebergs.
No, I'm talking about
ice on top of a mountain.
It's giant glaciers.
Correct.
One foot of snow equals 1 inch of rain. So no, you could melt the entire Rockies and the oceans would not raise 1 inch.
Right.
We're not talking about melting the Rockies. We're talking about an ice sheet that was 2 miles thick, covering over half of North America.
You're saying 2
Well, I'm saying that ice on top of a mountain would necessarily take away from the amount of water in the ocean because it's on top of a mountain. And if you were to melt it and it flows out to the ocean, then it would be adding to the, like, there would be microcosm and it would be immeasurable from one little tiny mountain how much water would be there. But if you extrapolate that into miles thick ice on top of Canada and Europe, that's no longer there.
If you guys leave a bag of ice on your kitchen table, let it melt, and have a bucket below that table to catch the water, does the water rise in that bucket?
Yeah, it would. But in a week, it would be gone. It would just evaporate. And then, oh my God, the water is gone. Where did it go?
But that's the point. In this case, the table would be the continent that the ice is sitting on, not the ocean.
But a glacier's it's 90% is under the water, and
no, that's an iceberg.
10% above. Yeah, an iceberg.
Glaciers are on land.
You're right. Glaciers are inland. You're right. So an iceberg. If you
I
were to
have a
melt
hard
an
time
iceberg
believing
down,
that we would have 2 mile thick ice. That's just, how did it get there?
Thousands of years of small amounts of snow falling and not melting.
Well, it'd have to melt because if it didn't melt, you would just have snowpack.
well,
No,
where
the
are they
ice.
at? Where's
this-
this ice at?
It's in the ocean now. Okay, look
So
at
it's in
look
the
at the.
ocean.
This is the Mississippi, right? See the Mississippi River right here.
No, I'm driving to go get some drugs to deal with this conversation.
What kind of drugs? Can I have some? Can you get them to me, please? Because this is insane.
So about an hour south of me, here in PA, there's a park called Moraine State Park, just outside of Butler, PA. That is how far the glacier came down before it began retreating here in PA.
You don't have to believe me. Well, look at this. This is how
Well,
far
hold
across
on.
the Mississippi is 1 mile across. It's a huge river. But then you back up and you look at this, you can clearly see where there was a giant, and you don't have to believe me, a giant fucking flow of water that was measure distance from here to here. 85 miles across, 82.87 miles across at this particular spot right here, where the Mississippi River is one. So it's 87 times bigger than the fucking Mississippi River. Something huge had to melt in order to make a river 87 times wider than the current Mississippi.
Okay.
A lot of water.
And you can see it, dude. You can see all these flows of water. Just look at the fucking land, you know?
Those are called tributaries, and that happens when things melt and you have runoff.
Look at the Great Lakes. They're so beautiful. Look at Lake Superior. So pretty.
Or the Finger Lakes, right?
Well, so I'm from Michigan, right? And they claim that all of Michigan's Great Lakes were carved by ice, glaciers, right? Have you ever looked at a map, like a geographical map of Michigan? We don't really have mountains. And last I knew, ice doesn't slide uphill. And ice on flatland definitely doesn't slide anywhere.
No one
Okay,
looks
you ever
at a
see
map
like
of
water
Michigan
do ripples? Like when it recedes, you see ripples.
Yeah, sure, but I haven't seen it ever do it frozen.
You see, wait, you're from Michigan?
Are you looking at the
Go
screen
back to
right now?
Michigan.
How are you
Hold on,
saying that
I
it's
actually am.
sliding
Actually,
up
I'm in Michigan.
land anyways?
Do you see these ripples here that look like you would see?
He said ripple.
Well, Michigan only has like one mountain range, right? And it's in the UP. And the size of the mountain is like, I don't know, probably 1/10 of the size of the smallest Great Lake, which would be Lake Erie. So yeah, no, I don't buy it that a fucking glacier decided to like fucking throw it in low gear and dig its fucking trench.
The glacier didn't just come from a mountain. They don't just start on mountains. This was centuries and millennia of buildup.
So when you're looking at like
right,
like
but
little
shit runs
puddle, right?
downhill.
And the
does it
puddle
not?
has little ripples in the side of the puddle. It's like 3 inches fucking of water makes like a 1 inch wide fucking ripple. What makes an 8/10 of a mile wide ripple? How much water needs to flow over the land to make the ripples over 1 kilometer long?
I guess I don't understand what you mean by a ripple.
I don't understand what we're looking at on the screen either.
Okay, well, look at it. Have you seen water flow over sand or over like clay? And as it does, it makes little fucking ripples in the clay.
You mean like it takes the path of least resistance and runs downhill?
No, let me pull up what I'm talking about, and I'll come back to this.
Like I see
Well,
what you're
fucking
looking
right.
at if you're saying that the water's going across there. Like that makes sense, but
Those are not ripples.
they
You
are.
keep talking about that. And
Look,
there's a
look
certain
at this image
demographic of
right
people
here.
that are
You
going to
see
claim
the
that they're.
sand ripples right here?
No, I'm driving.
Not you.
Nipples.
Everyone else who's fucking can see. I'm not talking to you if I'm saying, can you see this? And you can't see it. Fuck you.
Oh, good. So I don't have to look at this.
Multi
You see the
Yeah.
ripples. You see the ripples in the sand. Yeah.
No.
I do.
Do you
Aren't
see
that
what I'm
problem?
sharing on the fucking screen?
I see the other one too that looks like
Man,
the
I haven't heard
stars
you yell
look
like that since I drew dicks on your window.
God, dude.
Dicks?
Yeah, me and some random girl on the internet got into a van together. We did like a 5,500-mile road trip. Well, on our 5,500-mile road trip, I decided that I should stop and see Honda. And we decided to draw a bunch of dicks all over his windows.
That's awesome.
Okay, so sand ripples. Yes, you see sand ripples on screen. Sand ripples from
Yes.
water. 3 inches of
Yes.
sand. Fucking
Yes.
water
Uh-huh.
makes a fucking sand ripple.
Yes.
1 inch wide.
the
You see
ripple.
the 1 inch wide sand ripples for 3 inches of fucking water? Do you see it? Do you fucking see it?
Sounds like you're crashing it. You're gonna piss your neighbors off. All right,
I don't
Can
fucking
you
know.
put-
Fuck you.
I'm gonna leave you in the truck. I'm gonna go get some weed, and I'll be back.
Now do you see the
weed is
ripples
the
of
drug?
sand here? Do you see
Yeah.
how it is? They're the same exact fucking thing, but it's a matter of scale and variance. It's much bigger because the water that created them was much deeper. So when you have 3 inches of water flowing across sand that make 1 inch wide ripples, how deep does the water have to be to make 1 mile wide ripples?
Is there any cities there, Mark?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's a whole little territory. Okay.
That's a city that's in the middle of a ripple. They just kind of like flatten out the top of it.
What's the elevation there? I wonder if they would get flooded if something was to happen.
I don't know. You got to be a couple 100 feet here.
Hmm.
I'm assuming they're not. It's fucking Nebraska.
I know it'd be dangerous to be where I'm at.
So when all the water flows down here, okay, like another. I don't even want to argue about it anymore. I'm sorry I crashed out. It honestly doesn't matter. Just annoying when you're trying to say something and no one wants to hear you. That's all. That's what I get annoyed about more than anything.
I was actually wondering how we got to this from the Earth being flat and round and
At
no
the same
photos of
time.
it.
Yeah. At the same
No,
time.
not even that. We were just talking about the boy who got killed in the UK, and all of a sudden it turned into flat Earth.
That's true.
I don't know anymore, man. I don't know.
I don't know either. It's wild. Although I just said I don't want another flood. I hope that we don't have another flood because flood is scary. It's just a scary thing to think
Well,
of.
there's no ice up here. Like it used to be covered with. You can kind of see where the end of the fucking. Actually, it's kind of hard to see.
I'm right at the end of that finger right there.
Yeah,
The
you're
one
right
on Lake
here.
Superior. I'm right there. Yeah.
And probably a lot of water came through here. That's probably why it has that shape.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's crazy. There was a flood just the other day that right there. That's where I'm at. That's me.
Crazy. You ever go out here into the wilderness or over here?
I've been to both of those places, yeah, but I mean, you got to drive through it. It's not like that bad. I have to drive that way to go to work.
Oh, Honda, I'm
Silver
gonna ask
Bay
you a
is really pretty.
Have you ever rode your bike on that road they call like the $1 Million Highway?
I have actually, as long as I have lived in Colorado, I have never been to that part of Colorado. It takes like 8 hours to even get to the beginning of it. Oh, like this is kind of like a good example, right? Like this island right here. You can see how like everything kind of has a direction to it. Everything you can see all like the lines are kind of parallel and go from like northeast to southwest and follow the direction of the island itself. You see these like long scrapes, these big long fucking like look at this lake. It's just a big fucking long scrape that's also parallel with the lines that make the entire island. That's the remnants of a glacier fucking sliding over that bitch. Like, honestly, dude.
Hey, what road is he talking about in Colorado? Well, I don't know what that $1 million road is. He's not talking about
It's
Colfax.
between Ouray and Silverthorne.
Yeah, it just
Delta?
came up on my
wow.
YouTube feed like a couple of days ago. I was like, man, I wonder how to.
Like Delta, Olathe, Montrose.
Okay. Yeah.
All the way down to Ouray. Down here's where it starts. Ironton.
Yeah, so was it the San Isabellas then? As far as the mountain range goes? That's where Lake of the Clouds is, I think.
I don't know.
Place is fucking gorgeous.
Like Telluride, Lookout Peak, Anvil Mountain, Bear Mountain.
Yeah, that's down there. That's right. I recently come across a bear.
I am.
Yeah, they still like Bear Road too, something like that. Bear Highway 2 or something like that. I was looking at.
Well, I mean, the bear wasn't fun. I mean, it was scary, to be honest, but whatever. It was there. I dealt with it. Oh, wow. There's some sort of lizard creature. Oh, what? What was that?
This is the one I want to do on my bike. That's kind of closer. If you can see this, yeah, you can. It's like switchbacks and
the mountain goats.
Super steep. Goes up to 12,000 something feet. Yeah, look at this, dude. Isn't that cool? You're all like totally above the tree line, so you can see the curvature of the earth.
What's all that? Is that a mine? Is that an old mine?
No, it's just a pass.
Huh.
12,801 feet.
Red clay dirt, whatever it is.
So it's a mountain you can ride to the top of on
like
a
the
motorcycle, basically.
No, like the
And
color
it's
on the
dirt.
side of it. See, I got a reddish color.
What are you talking about?
Like the reddish color on the side of the path. Yeah, like all that. Like the reddish orange color.
I have to put you on pause. I'll be right back.
Look, there's mountain goats. I don't know, I got a buddy coming up from Texas with his bike sometime this month. Actually, Trenton's coming up, Fish. If you're back. You're not back. It's fine. Bro, we've been going for a long time here. I said I was going to do a short chat because my fucking face hurts, and it never stopped hurting.
Killing me.
The screaming.
Well, I had a tooth that they did some work on like 2 years ago. And all of the work that they did 2 years ago like fell off like a week ago. So I had to go back, and it turns out my tooth had a crack in it too. So to make sure that it didn't get worse and to like solve the fucking falling off problem and everything else, they had to shave off another half of my fucking tooth, and now I've got a temporary cap on it while they make a permanent one.
Jesus.
Well, that was only $900 that I don't have right now.
Would it have been cheaper just to pull it?
Well, if I mean, I'm already missing a tooth. I don't want to miss 2 teeth now, you know?
Oh, okay. Man,
how many are you missing?
A few. In the back.
Yeah, and it would be right next to the other one that I'm missing, so it'd be 2 right next to each other. So basically, like, now you just don't eat with half of your face, and you look all lopsided and weird because you fucking never use half your face to chew.
You'll it adjust. Trust me on it.
I don't know about that, man, but it does fucking hurt like a bitch right now. It's just throbbing. It told me to take some fucking ibuprofen and Tylenol, but instead I started streaming. And here we are.
Just took it before you came on the show.
You know, I haven't been here in a while. All this talk reminds me I have a colostomy coming up, a colonoscopy. I'm sorry, MSB. I should probably get one of those too. I need to get like a whole fucking panel of workup done on me. I need to like have them look at some moles and make sure I don't have the fucking skin cancer. I need to like have them put the probes inside my butthole and make sure I don't have the ass cancer. That's how old I am. I'm at like check my ass for cancer age.
Yeah, I just came from the doctor last week for like a general checkup. Did all the blood work and all that shit. They haven't called me back, so I'm guessing it's not a emergency.
I like it when they send me the results. Like, I'm glad that you have access to the results and you can interpret them and tell and you know what's going on with me and you can tell me that I'm good.
Right.
But I want to know what those fucking numbers are so that I can Google some shit and see where I'm actually at and come up with my own. Like, I know you're the doctor and you're trained and you probably know more than me with my Google. But I'll know more with my Google than you told me. Yeah, I'm going to learn more than you told me.
You don't want to Google.
Well, I mean, for instance,
you have super AIDS. Oh, that's what that means. Yeah.
Like 2 years ago, I went to the doctor and I had all my blood work done, and they said my cholesterol was a little high, you know, and they were going to put me on statins. If you know what a statin is,
that's what I'm on now.
Well, bro, you got to do whatever you can to get the fuck off of those things right the fuck now, from what I understand. Why? Okay, because
it's less than. Okay, go ahead.
Well, what is your brain?
What they told me.
What is your brain made of? Primarily cholesterol. A lot of the outside of your brain is covered with this thing called myelin, and the myelin helps. So like two neurons sitting next to each other, they don't touch each other. They're like sitting like this, and they have little chemical receptors that reach out, and they're sending chemicals between them, right? And there's just little chemicals between these like little fucking fingers that reach out, and that's how they communicate. And those chemicals that go across those little fingers create electrical impulses that shoot across the nerve. And then that nerve has fingers and it shoots, and then there's another one right there. And then that's how it's weird how it works, right? The myelin is beneficial for the conductivity of the nerve with that electrical pulse shooting across it. So if you have depleted myelin, then the nerve impulse gets interrupted or degrades over time or over space. So when you have a thought, it doesn't reach destination. When you have like a feeling, you know what I mean? Like there's all kinds of problems that happen with that. Mm-hmm. So when you take a statin, statins reduce cholesterol. They strip cholesterol out of your body because cholesterol is bad for your heart. And they think that the cholesterol numbers lead to heart attacks, right? That's the theory. Yeah. But what the statins do is strip the myelin off of your neurons, making them less able to conduct electricity, making you. So the theory is, and I don't know that this is true, again, going back to Mr. Zarati's theory of trust nothing, because I've been told this and I believed it, and I don't really know this. But if you strip the myelin off of your fucking neurons with statins, you go into early dementia. It creates brain problems.
That's not good.
So while you might not die of a heart attack, you forget where your keys are and you watch a show 15 times that you've already seen.
Well, I like to do that anyway.
Well, that's the plus, but okay.
Yeah, I mean the plus is everything's new again, I guess.
Right.
The
same old pussy becomes new. Huh?
Yeah. So I don't know. That's the theory, and I've read a study about that, and they're taking a hard look at statins right now, and they don't want to just take people off of them because there's a lot of people that are like, man, you got a lot of health problems, and we start taking you off of like this drug and that drug, people are going to start dying. So, but they're looking at statins specifically, and they have taken some of them off of the market because of this.
I think somebody got some feedback.
Who's that? Who that?
Can you hear it? Yeah.
I hear a train or something. Has Trump really been gone for 6 days? I've heard something about that going on.
Not that I've heard.
Yeah, they just talked about having a conversation with Netanyahu. Netanyahu.com.
Something else that guy is.
BB.
Terrifying details uncovered regarding an Iranian-trained Islamist plot to assassinate Donald Trump's daughter Ivanka. Did you guys hear about this?
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Alleged terrorist from the IRGC pledged to murder Ivanka Trump. His plot was so advanced that he had a blueprint of her Florida home. He also posted a chilling threat. I say to Americans, know your places and Secret Service won't protect you. Our revenge is a matter of time. The Iraqi National Standard, accused of taking part in 20 different terror attacks on Americans. He was hoping for he was hoping to avenge the killing of General Soleimani 6 years ago. It's crazy he had blueprints of her fucking house, dude. Yeah, here's Trump from 15 hours ago talking to somebody. I don't know if I can know. He's not gone. He's there 15 hours ago. Oh, here he is talking to Mr. Netanyahu. So yeah, he's not dead. He's not missing. All right, guys, we've been going for a really long time. I think I'm gonna end it here. It is time.
You need a jumping spider in your life.
All right, y'all. We'll say deuces, shall not pee in fridge, troop of shop and not a pressure, bat a cat care, prick the troops. 2 words made in America. And we'll see y'all next time. Deuces.